What are you laughing about over here?
I'm reading somebody I follow on Twitter posted a Babylon Bee thing about man jiggles toilet handle, thus exhausting his knowledge of plumbing.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you know a little more than that.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like the guy says, he puts his hands on his hips and he looks at her after jiggling the handle. He says, this should clear it up. And he says, as a man, you have to know how to deal with these sort of things.
Jiggling the toilet handle.
Yeah.
Good morning, Gray. How are you? Hi. Good morning.
So 1.2 inches yesterday?
Wow.
Yeah, well, we're soggy.
I asked A, she says no rain expected today, but it's cool out here. We were in the upper 40s this morning.
Yeah, it feels actually pretty good. Yeah, this one says the same thing, 1.2.
Notice Don's jacket.
Yes, yeah.
Hey guys. Yep, there's your food. Don opened up the door to let Stripe out and Marty ran in for a minute and then Marty wanted back out. I guess the food selection wasn't up to his standards prior to me getting down to the kitchen. Whatever the leftovers were, but it's cute. They're cute. Everybody's doing good. Hey there, Panther. Hi. Hi. Oh, there. It does feel nice and fresh out here this morning. Hey, bud. Good morning. Good boy. There's a lot of cleaning of water bowls this morning, all nasty from the rain. You would think the rain would be great because it would fill them up, but really all it does is get them dirty and get sand in them and make them a mess. But look, there's the sunshine up there. Woo!
It's a little hard to see, but the bucket full light is flashing. Quite impressed with this dehumidifier. You can unplug it, and when you plug it back in, it picks back up. You don't have to push the power button and set the fan speed again. I have an air conditioner that every time the power fails, you have to reset it and go back through the whole thing. So this dehumidifier's got enough memory in it that it can bridge across a power outage. And I had left it unplugged for over 15 minutes yesterday, and when I plugged it in, all the settings were as I had used while it was running.
That's all the water it did all weekend. I'm going to turn it off because the humidity's dropped, but the hemostat I put in there shows that it only got down to maybe 60% relative humidity, which I don't think this is really that efficient. We'll have to see when it gets a little warmer weather.
Is it meter reading time? You headed under the house? It's a little easier on him now that Gray is inside because she's the one that liked to go under there and get caught. Good morning, Ruby. So far, so good this morning. I exited out of navigation and I turned on minimum lane change. So hopefully we'll have a smooth trip into town this morning. That really does seem to help. How about that Falcon Heavy launch last night, huh? Third time's the charm. It was good to see that go up. We turned over about 4 minutes prior to liftoff because we had seen the promotional videos and stuff on one of the other launch attempts. And anyway, that was pretty cool. Would have been cooler if we'd have got to watch the boosters land, but it was still pretty cool. So Plug-in NC tweeted that a dealership in Durham had sold the first 2 Ioniq 6s in the area. So I was telling Johnny, I guess we'll start looking out for them. It does not look like the Tron version Ioniq 5 at all, really. At any point, I will be looking out for that. Maybe we can spot one. So I was reading over the weekend. I'm trying to think of where I saw it. I think it was on Twitter too. The city of Raleigh has installed 150 no turn on red signs in downtown. That seems like a massive number of signs, and this right here is one of the red lights involved. As Johnny pointed out, I might want to stop staying right because this lane is going to be more backed up than it normally would have been because people can't turn on red anymore. They put the sign on the other side of the intersection, so I know you can't probably see it right now. It's by the 25-mile-per-hour sign, and you know, recently they changed the speed limit from 35 down to 25. I kind of thought 35 was a little insane on a couple of the streets, so the 25 seems justifiable in some spots, but I guess the interaction between pedestrians and cars is not going so well in their opinion, and that these no turn on red signs will help. So if you look to the right here as we go through, you'll see the newly installed sign. A lot of times in the morning people turn right on red there, and I would say that there's no negative interaction with doing that whatsoever. So I think that was a poor choice there. I guess I'm entitled to my opinion, right? Doing 30, sorry. Making her chime. There's no turn on red here. So they've installed them, like that one is up at 30 feet in the air. Here's another one. Let's just count them, the no turn on reds. I'm gonna be glad I'm not coming downtown having to deal with this. I mean, it's not that I turn, you know, mostly I'm a couple straight shots through the city or a left turn in the morning, but it's like, wow, really? We can't turn on red anywhere anymore in the city? Let's see, there's one here too. It's up on the street light. Well, I hope everybody downtown has an absolute conniption over them and they end up rethinking this decision, but probably not. They probably don't care what we think. And having been a person no turn on red, having been a person that's driven downtown since 2017 a lot, you know, in and out 2 times a day, so 4 trips through town, I would say that the major problem with the interaction downtown between pedestrian cars is pretty much all on the people. They don't cross at the crosswalks, they don't wait for the hand, they don't make eye contact with the drivers, they're on their cell phone instead of looking where they're going, talking to the person beside them right at the pedestrian crosswalk, and cars stopping but they don't want to cross, and then they just you know, they're standing there causing cars to watch out for them when they don't really need to cross the street. There's just a whole series of things that happen. There's a lady over here last week, and literally you couldn't see her because of the delivery vehicles, and she just, no eye contact, owned the world, just came out into the street. I'm like, really? I'm glad to stop for you, but you know, you got to be defensive and look out for yourself too. And that maneuver she did just wasn't exactly, she, you know, was the I'm entitled. Well, don't be entitled. Work with cars to get across safely. Happy to stop for you. Anyway, so basically I don't have to turn red on any of these intersections, but they're all no turn on red now. So when they said 150, apparently they really meant 150. Wow. So you just, I guess they should have just said every intersection downtown is now no turn on red. Wow. I'm just like, really? I mean, there is one place in Fuquay where I would like them to put a no turn on red. Right there at the newly relocated, renovated police station, because people on Old Honeycutt Road have a tendency to turn right when you're coming up on Judd Parkway, and it goes from 1 lane to 2, and they basically turn right in front of you. It's very hard to see out here this morning. The sunlight is really making it difficult. Typical New Bern. Is there one here too? Oh yeah. Let's not leave that one out. No turn on red, no turn on red. Yeah, it must be like basically every intersection downtown. At least all the ones I travel through. There's there's not one of those signs here at Tarboro and New Bern Avenue, and this is a photo enforced, don't go through the light. And let me tell you, as soon as it turns yellow, it turns red to try to catch you. You know, I had a conversation with Johnny earlier in the school year. It's like, Mom doesn't want to get caught by the red light camera, but I'm not going to have an accident trying to avoid going through on yellow if the guy's riding, you know, right on my bumper, or, you know, sometimes it just makes sense to go. Not going is. So anyway, the one in front of us is a one-way street, so there wouldn't be a no turn on red here because you can't turn. But yeah, that was an instance where I came around the corner and Ruby didn't turn off the turn signal, so I turned it off. And anyway, it figures that they're not trying to slow down traffic or stop traffic even more back there at the red light camera intersection. I have not been caught by it. There's been a couple times I wondered if I was caught by it. I think drivers should just make good decisions about these intersections. I'm sort of against red light cameras because I think they make you do dumb things sometimes. I think they're actually a safety hazard. Johnny got out at 7:30, which is 5 minutes before tardy, and he does have on his boot today, and it's not bothering him at all unless he's walking on it, and it's not bothering him that bad when he's walking on it. So I am pleased that at least when he's just sitting there, you know, we've all had injuries before where when you're sitting there it still hurts. So if it only hurts when you walk on it and you can mostly avoid walking on it, that's pretty good. So hopefully he's going to heal on up quick. He doesn't have a lot of walking to do today on campus. Fire truck just went flying by. Hopefully it's not headed over to the school. Well, that ladder truck doesn't have its lights going, but it's going in the direction of the other fire truck that just passed through here. Yeah, I was chatting briefly with our friend David, who lives in the downtown area, and he brought up a really good point. I didn't think about it. Is FSD going to recognize those no turn on red signs when they're 30 feet up in the air? I don't know one way or the other because, well, A, I wasn't an FSD coming through town, and B, I didn't need to turn right on red. I mean, I didn't need to make a right turn coming through town. Coming through town, I guess I do make the one right turn onto Morgan Street, which turns into New Bern Avenue. So there is one right turn for me in town. But Ruby does usually want to turn onto Martin Luther King there, right coming into town versus going straight through the city center. And I don't like to do that because then it causes me to have an unprotected left turn, and waiting at you just wait at a different light, and I don't like it. So I don't do that. But I wasn't the lead car today, so even if I had wanted to test that out, which I would be willing to do, I couldn't have. So I'll pay attention going back through town, and let's see. Going back through town, I have one. Well, I make that right turn up here onto Hargett Street, but then it's a left turn and straight out of town. It's just going to be hard for me to test with the route I'm taking is what I'm trying to say, but it would be very interested to see what it does. There's a red Model X following Ruby this morning down Main Street, Fuquay. I noticed it was a woman driver, and that's the only details I got. So they have put plants in the planters. Looks like hibiscus is the main center focal point, and then some other plants that I couldn't quite tell what they were, but I hope they put some dirt in when they did it, because when I was, and it looks like they did, when I was coming by the other day, they you know, after they had removed the other plants, they weren't really full all the way up to the top anymore. Kind of like what I have happen at the house between one year and the next year. You pull out the old plants, they've used up some of the dirt, some of the dirt sticks to the roots. You know, you end up having to top them back up a little bit. Well, that should be pretty. Certainly was better than what they had in them. Hibiscus is a little tough in that, you know, the flowers only last one day, so there's a lot of flowers falling to the ground, falling off of them. But I do see an employee from the city going around with watering apparatus, something on wheels that has a tank and a hose. And you know, if he also cleans out the flower pot of the dead blooms or whatever, and I'm sure they can be kept looking nice. Cool, crisp air this morning with a hint of honeysuckle. It beats a code orange air quality day and hot and humid. So Don is all twittered this morning, and one of the things he shared with me was upsetting. Dr. John Campbell, who we've mentioned before, he has a YouTube channel. We followed him through the entire pandemic. He got still following him. He got a strike on his YouTube and suspended for a week off YouTube because he posted within his video of an MP in Parliament, because he's in the United Kingdom, talking about, I'm just going to say nicely, issues with COVID and the vaccine. Some dissenting opinions with the popular governmental pharmaceutical industry opinion, some dissenting opinions. So he put some of that video in his video so people would see it, so they could decide for themselves. And he got a strike and banned from YouTube for a week. And I just find it very frustrating in 2023 that, you know, we can't have debate. I guess we think that some of our fellow people of the world are too stupid to hear information and make up their own minds about the information that they receive, that they can't be trusted. If they hear a dissenting opinion about something important to someone else, that they can't be trusted to evaluate that information for themselves, because that's really what we're saying, right? And personally, you know, I don't know if what the guys... I have a battery failure and no spare battery, but anyway, I'm bummed for Dr. Campbell. I started following him on Rumble, not that I'm likely to use Rumble, but the video is over there. And you know, how can we solve world problems if we won't actually discuss world problems? And since when did getting rid of people with dissenting opinions become the right way to work through our issues and differences? You're such a cute girl, Nighttime. You gonna help me build the kitties? Huh? You gonna help me build the kitties? Good girl. Every time Stripe comes in to check out the food bowl, now Marty puts his head in the door and he wants to check out the food bowl too. Marty, did you get some? Alrighty, it turned out as cute as it can be. Next up, Pet Adoption Cafe. I am going to get back to my building. I'm ready to do furniture for the second floor. I'm just taking a break to make sure all my decorations for the month of May, my little pie table's got. I'm just doing all animal themed Legos. 1 and 2 are done. I've got bag 3 to go, which of course has the little cute dog and cat on top of the entranceway here. Save the best for last, right? You can see the stickers. I'm gonna go grab Johnny, and I'm sure I'll finish this up when I get back home. It is a beautiful afternoon out here. Not a clear sky, but a bright blue, pretty sky at any point. I hadn't mentioned my poison ivy for a few days, and I wanted to say that it is finally better. I'm not miserable with it anymore. I got the ozone enriched olive oil to try, but I basically, by the time I ordered it and it came, was right the day that it was like kind of over the mountain on starting to be better. So I can't say for sure if it helped, but I know it didn't hurt. And I've still been using it once a day. That's about all I can stand. How it smells is once a day. I've been putting it on in the evening. But the whole poison ivy area on my stomach, basically, where it was just absolutely horrible, is better, finally. It takes 2 or 3 weeks every time. That's just how it is for me. Well, navigation wants to turn right down here. I don't suppose it'd be red and I'd be the first car. No. Because I would like to test the no turn on red with the signs not in the expected places. But that's going to be kind of hard to do. And I don't care about going. Well, I would not normally navigate FSD through this intersection. She knows she wants to turn right. There's complications here. She did good with the pedestrian. The complications are the bike lane. I was hoping to test the turn on red there, but that didn't work. But she handled the intersection and the pedestrian well, so that was a good FSD example on a new intersection that I hadn't tried before. Almost back home with Johnny. It's warmed up to 67 out there. It's just very pleasant. Super pleasant out there this afternoon. A little windy though. Saw the trees moving. Hey Donnie, I'm home. So what's this afternoon's project?
I'm working on the recliner. I can't afford to miss my pile-upping.
It's not going all the way back for him. Well, your headrest quit working, and that wasn't an emergency, but that's now right. He can't go all the way back anymore. It's a good thing my side's not malfunctioning.
That's right. We don't want your side not to malfunction.
Well, I expected to come in the house and it be upside down and tore apart. So the problem's actually at the remote and the wired remote, and not like underneath at the actual motor or mechanism or something.
Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. We have
you damaged your remote wire.
Well, this wire right here is just like floating in the air.
Okay. Well, at least it's totally fixable.
Well, yeah.
I imagine you'd like to take it to the garage, though, instead of be sitting here in your spot work trying to work.
I'm watching, you know, this remote still works. I'm watching, got my YouTubes up, and you know, I got my crippers, and I got everything I need right here.
Okay.
I'm comfy. Can I have some more water?
Sure. So, this pet cafe is a brand new Lego door, and it has a pet door built into it. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. Well, it didn't take me too long to finish it up. It's really super cute. I don't know that I like the colors of the siding or the roof line, but the stickers and extra things that came with it and stuff like that. You know, this says Adopt Me. I guess this is announcing the adoption event for 9/17. They're open, the little kitty and stuff. I mean, it's just... It is super cute. It has a coffee machine for the people because, you know, if you're going to come in and hang out, you're going to have some coffee. And it's It's fun. So the second floor is going to have a bedroom and a family room. So a bed, a couch, a TV, something like that. So I'm going to work on those things now. Those parts I just showed you are for the couch, although it's not going to be that blue color. I think I'm going to make it lime green. Did I say couch? Bed. Bed. Those parts are for the bed. Made more progress than I thought I was going to. I'm excited about how it's turning out. I kind of decided that this was a master bedroom suite, and I was just going to put TV, washer, dryer, bathroom, bed all in one room and not worry about walls. I might still put up, I don't know, a little curtain or something here that just blocks the toilet, and you would think you would walk behind it. Anyway, we'll call it a fancy master bedroom suite. Notice the guy in the chair has the biggest remote control ever. And the girl on the couch is holding her camera, probably been taking a picture of her and her kitty cat. I'll let you conclude the rest of the story, but it's coming along. I don't have enough orange squares to finish the floor. I had ordered them and they're on the way, and so I wait. It's meatball night. No breadcrumbs. I use pork rinds, and otherwise it's about what you'd expect.